Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 7th episode of Season 2 of the RFC Tuesday podcast, the bi-monthly show on the web where we invite the best and the brightest in the financial services industry and try to learn from their success and expertise. Tonight's episode, Unveiling the Shroud of Cryptocurrencies. We are RFC accredited members of the IARFC Philippines, whose passion is to educate the public about the value and benefits of financial planning. The IARFC Philippines is an association dedicated to the craft of financial consulting. The association is the sole organization authorized to conduct the RFC conversion courses as well as the continuing education in the field of financial consulting. I am Kuya Ryan Daes, a registered financial consultant, and with me tonight, I have a very special co-host, our executive producer.
Great evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be on board on this episode. We are your hosts. I'm Grace De Vera Escobar, a registered financial consultant, chartered wealth manager, registered estate planner, and the executive vice president of the IARFC Philippines. During our last episode, Kuya Ryan shared an investment strategy that can help pera and mapera weather through the effects of volatilities on their investment portfolio, especially after another month of lockdown due to COVID-19. He shared about the cost averaging and the modified cost averaging technique. First and foremost, discussion of our topic today, just like any topics discussed in our previous episodes, are for understanding and not necessarily for endorsements. We all know many people are currently raving on the performance of their Bitcoin investments, and many Filipinos are joining the bandwagon. Pera and Mapera also saw this opportunity and would want to make money out of it. For everyone's benefit, Bitcoin is the first and most popular cryptocurrency to date, which was introduced in 2009. According to the Philstar article, the increasing trend is expected to continue as the country recovers from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the virtual currencies start to gain more traction. And as usual, if there's anything specific you want us to cover, please type in your questions and suggestions in the chat box for our next episode. We can also, however, answer your questions since we are watching with you during this broadcast, if you need to clarify anything that we are tackling in this episode. And again, we all welcome all of our podcast viewers in tonight's episode. With us tonight to help us understand what is cryptocurrency, how it behaves, and what are the risks involved is one of the pillars of the banking industry and is currently the Chief Trust Officer of the Bank of Commerce, our very own IRFC Philippines President, Mr. Boyet Benavides. Welcome, Sir Boyet.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday podcast.
Good evening, Sir Boyet. So, very juicy yung topic natin tonight. I understand medyo close sa puso mo ang cryptocurrencies. So first off, siguro for everybody's understanding, we need to know ano ba ang cryptocurrencies. Well, although we're very particular about Bitcoin, which is very popular. Pero if you may, sir, can you please define what are cryptocurrencies?
Cryptocurrencies are alternative currencies that are brought about by, well, of course, the first one was Bitcoin. It came out from a technical paper written by Satoshi Nakamoto, but nobody knows who he is. A lot of people have presented themselves as the author of the white paper on cryptocurrency, but so far he's nowhere to be found. So it's a form of digital money, but unlike what we know now as digital money that's still supported by paper money, it's completely dematerialized, meaning there's no physical form, and it's not controlled by a central authority. Not like our paper money, where it's printed, it's controlled by a central monetary authority, which we call a central bank. And before, it had minimal adoption, but now it's traded globally. Um, well, Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, it's like just sending email. So you have a public address, which is your cryptocurrency address, and you have a private key. And this private key is used to validate your transactions. But how do you validate transactions without a central authority? So that's where the concept of distributed ledger comes into play. It means that there are a lot of computers, a lot of nodes all over the internet who have signed up to become nodes, meaning they will confirm your transaction. The concept of cryptocurrency is that it relies on a consensus of trust, meaning that if one transaction is sent to one computer, the entire internet, so to speak, or all the nodes will confirm that the transaction is authentic. If any of those nodes fail, your transaction will not push through, whether you're receiving or you're sending cryptocurrency. So I think in all financial transactions, in all financial relationships, that is the most important aspect. It's that building the trust in the process and in the financial instrument. With the distributed ledger, well, it's not centralized. It cannot be hacked. It cannot be copied. It cannot be duplicated. It builds that trust factor into the transaction. That's what basically is how this cryptocurrency came about and why it's becoming popular.
So parang ang digital money basically. But
It
it's not regulated as you mentioned.
Yes, and
So parang ang regulation niya, sir, yung mga nodes na yon.
the regulation
Yung kanina.
it's the only way that you can bring down the cryptocurrency is to bring down the entire internet. So to
Okay. Okay.
because all those nodes exist on the internet. So if you bring down the internet, that's the only way that you, because nobody would now confirm your transactions, your cryptocurrency transactions. And mind you, there are already thousands of cryptocurrencies, hindi lang Bitcoin. And even Bitcoin has already, in technical term nila, forked, meaning it brought about new cryptocurrencies.
Oh, okay. Very interesting ah. Nanganak na.
Nanganak siya from the original Bitcoin.
Okay.
Created separately from the parent.
So parang nabuhay na siya mag-isa.
Nabuhay na siya mag-isa. And with currencies, it's finite. Meaning there's a limited number of the units that of that cryptocurrency that can be produced. That's why there's a natural tendency for cryptocurrencies to increase in price.
So hindi pwede mag-issue ng bagong cryptocurrency kung halimbawang there are 1 million distributed na cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. 1 million Bitcoins. Yun lang talaga yung dami ng Bitcoin sa buong mundo.
Dami na pwedeng ma-produce.
Okay. So hindi na pwede madagdagan yon.
Hindi na pwede madagdagan. Not like money, paper money, pwede siyang dagdagan. Pwede ka mag-print ng additional money.
Kaso made-devaluate, di ba?
Siya.
Okay.
So, yun yung effect nun. So, I guess because of that level of concept of trust and finiteness of the commodity, that's what drove people into cryptocurrencies versus financial instruments or commodities that are manufactured. can be manufactured, di ba?
Okay. So there's a question here na how can it be nowhere and everywhere at the same time?
It's nowhere because it's not physical. You cannot touch Bitcoin, you cannot touch Ethereum. There's no way you can take delivery of it. Nobody will issue you Bitcoins, as in the physical coin or the physical.
Okay.
There's no entity that will issue it to you. But at the same time, all the nodes know Bitcoin. When a Bitcoin transaction is sent through it, they know if it's authentic or not. They will confirm if it's authentic or not. So that web of trust among the different nodes for the cryptocurrency is created.
Okay. Siguro naman hindi lang isang node ang available sa buong mundo.
Well, I must admit, when I started it, it took probably hours for a transaction to be confirmed.
Okay. Kasi konti pa ang nodes noon.
Konti lang yung nodes. Ngayon, if you were beside me and I send you, say, 0.0005 of a Bitcoin, hindi ka pa nagbi-blink na sa'yo na.
Okay.
Ganun karami na yung nodes ngayon.
So, lumakas na yung computing power nung total number of nodes kasi na naghahati sa pagko-confirm ng transaction.
And
Okay.
now, I think they increased the number of confirmations that are required to be able to say that the transaction is authentic, and then it will push through.
So parang added layer of security yon.
That's a lot of security is built into the currency. One is that you have a private key. Second, you have that web of trust that the nodes confirm that the transaction is authentic or not.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So you mentioned about wallet. So tinatanong ni Pera at Mapera, how do they keep their cryptocurrency? Where do they keep it? Kasi sabi mo walang wallet, you don't touch it, but how do you know where it is or where to find it or how to use it? Paano natin ini-store ang cryptocurrency, sir?
Well, there are cryptocurrency exchanges or cryptocurrency wallet providers. It can be on the web, can be on a physical device like a USB drive na yung alam natin na USB drive, or it can be a USB drive na fashioned like a watch or a keychain.
Okay.
Or it can be a wallet in your computer. But unlike money in the bank na it's fungible, once you lose access to the wallet, you lose your cryptocurrency.
Oh my.
Absolutely no way of retrieving it and
Recovering.
recovering it.
Okay.
Once it's lost, it's lost.
So halimbawa, sir, I had it in my flash drive. We all know flash drives can get corrupted, di ba?
Yes.
Lalo pag nasa static or basta may way para masira. Minsan magugulat ka, unusable na yung thumb drive mo. So ibig sabihin, if I had millions of pesos in value of cryptocurrency there, it's gone forever.
It's gone forever.
Oh my.
You forget your password and you cannot, or you're locked out from your cloud wallet, it's gone.
Oh my goodness.
Remember your password, or if your computer crashes and you keep it in a computer wallet, it's gone.
Oh my goodness.
The danger of virtual currency na walang physical manifestation. Not like if you have a bank book, if you have a savings passbook, you lose your savings passbook, your money, you can still withdraw money from the bank.
And even if you forgot your online password, yung online account na way mo para ma-access yung account, okay lang, di ba? You can easily reset it. At saka you can still go to the branch to have it reset or something. Or you can call someone on the phone. Okay, so marami palang dapat i-consider si Pera at Mapera about the currency.
Because although it has evolved a lot from the past, siguro 10 years, there's still a lot to learn and to uh, it still has to evolve so that it gains um, acceptability in the market. Kasi the acceptability that we have now is more of a hype rather than having it as an organized cryptocurrency. I mean,
Sounds familiar, no, sir?
even a lot of the financial institutions are or ang dami ring scam na ang tawag nila ICO, initial coin offering. So they will replicate the way that a cryptocurrency is created, and they will have an ICO and sell it to the market. 1% return, 2,000% returns, without knowing what the fundamental is and what that cryptocurrency stands for. Unlike the base, which is ang pinaka-popular kasi is Bitcoin and Ethereum. The very value of that is the distributed ledger and the building that web of trust, which
Thank
a lot of financial institutions can actually have already used. In the legal profession, the blockchain is being used to create smart contracts.
Yeah, yung mga encrypted na digital contracts, no, sir?
For example, the practical uses are, we hear a lot of organic food in the market. How are you sure that it really comes from an organic source? 'Di ba? Na unadulterated. Using blockchain technology, you can actually prove that your food came from an organic source, traced from where it came from, who grew it, using what, who is the farmer, or
Okay.
harvested the food. Because to disrupt the blockchain means to change all the records on the internet all at the same time.
Which
Because
is parang residual information sa buong internet yan, sir, na mahirap baguhin.
mahirap baguhin kasi like now, because there are a lot of nodes, you have to convince all the nodes that what you're saying is true. If biglang may nakabangga siya na hindi,
Parang red flag. Parang red flag,
yeah.
no?
So the nodes will start rejecting the transaction because somebody says it's not true. Or
Okay.
several nodes say it's not true. Kumbaga, meron ng, if you're talking about currency, somebody already owns it. Or for example, if you're talking about smart contracts, it will tell you that contract has already been adulterated because per my records, the revisions of the contract are A, B, C, D. What you have is A, B, X, Y, Z. So,
Hindi nag-match.
hindi magmamatch. It will say that's not true. It's not true.
Boyet, allow me to go one step back, okay, before we go any further with this very exciting talakayan. May I know, please, how did the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency become an investment asset? And why has it gone mainstream? And should I even consider cryptocurrency as an investment?
Well, let's look at how cryptocurrencies came about. No, it was initially a novelty token, meaning it's just the techno geeks who were playing with it and using it, say, to exchange for food, to exchange for car rides. So it was in the realm of the geeks at the very start, say probably until 2012. And then it went into a dark phase. So cryptocurrencies became the means of payment in what we call the dark web. If you have the internet as we know today, there is an alter ego of that, which is the dark web. That's where unfortunately, all the drug trade, all the arms trade happens. And at the start, they found it convenient to use cryptocurrencies to settle these illegal transactions. That's why the US Fed like swooped down on Bitcoin at some point in time. But it's not the currency, it's the people who were using it. So differentiate the technology from the use. So at that start, it gained notoriety because it was used for uh, illegal purposes. But
Mr. Boyat, are you telling me that it is non-traceable?
yes, it is non-traceable because your name does not appear. Your identity does not appear together with the transaction. So when I transfer cryptocurrencies, you are a QR code. And that QR code corresponds to your wallet. And only you know that QR code or that long string of characters that represent your wallet. So that's why I was saying that if you lose your wallet, you lose everything. It's gone
Okay.
forever.
I,
So
I'm I'm supposed to ask, what am I bound to lose or gain by considering cryptocurrencies?
if you lose it, you lose everything. No, but again, going back to your question about how it gained popularity. So because of the internet age and because somebody was brave enough to use Bitcoin to as a um, way to get a pizza, it started the trend towards a more popular and a more uh, you can say clean use of
Yeah.
cryptocurrencies. So you can now start buying commodities, buying groceries, by paying for services using this new money. So it shed off its dark past, no? And it became some sort of a uh, parang peg for money of the future
Mm-hmm.
because of the blockchain technology, because unlike before that it takes hours for you to transfer the currency, it's now instantaneous. It's like if you're familiar with InstaPay and PesoLink, ganun siya nakabilis yung transfer. Actually, nauna pa yung Bitcoin. And somehow, probably the supporting technologies for what we see now in terms of transfer of commodity and transfer of assets would be supported by Bitcoin technology. So it has gone mainstream.
Yeah.
And people look at it as the new digital gold. Because, gold the value of gold fluctuates over time. It has the same characteristics. It may be limited. But with gold kasi, it's hard to take, you have the option to take physical delivery of the gold. Remember, the gold in say Fort Knox or in the vault of the gold depositories, once you take it out, bumabagsak yung presyo.
Yes.
And you cannot take it back, put it back again without incurring a loss kasi because of that, again, the trust question. How can the depository be sure that when you took out the gold, it's unadulterated as when you put it back?
Mm-hmm.
So that question is not present when you're dealing with cryptocurrencies because of that web of trust. So as it becomes more popular, it became traded all over the world. It became mainstream commodity for buying. Why? Because it's scarce, it's pure, it's scarce because it's limited capacity. It's pure. I mean, these are electronic digital assets.
Yeah. Sounds good.
There's a universal hedge because umaakyat yung presyo eh.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm supposed to ask, like saying that it is scarce, then the tendency is that habang kumukonti na lang what is available in the market, so definitely the price will also go up, right?
Uh, Theoretically, yes, no? Uh, it goes up. But then again, remember, it has more participants now than before.
Okay.
The more people that go into it, the more people speculate.
Mhm.
And like with any other commodity, when speculators come in, that drives the volatility of the commodity. So what I'm saying is that over the long term, yes, we have seen like Bitcoin go from $1 to where it is now at $50,162.97 per Bitcoin.
Mhm.
But that's over the lifetime of Bitcoin, which is from 2014 to today. So probably that's how 6 years is how long, 7 years is how long you have to watch out for. But looking at it, the
Mhm.
first surge came in 2017. That was the rise when it reached 9,000.
Mhm.
And then it crashed to recover again sometime in 2019 at 10,000. And then we now have this incredible increase from the previous peak of 9,000 to 51,000. So as with a lot of asset classes, there's volatility because more players, more people are getting into the Bitcoin hype.
Right.
So it's being traded, it's being played because it's scarce. Eh.
Right. So what kind of a person, what is the profile or risk profile of a person who will indulge in cryptocurrencies then?
Well, it's not for the retail market. It's not even for those who are looking for um, regular income or capital gains. At this stage in time, it remains in the speculative speculative area because there's still no definite regulatory framework uh, or a wide range of institutions that can cater to this type of uh, commodity, this type of asset class. Although there are some banks who have already started and some funds that have already started putting Bitcoin in their portfolios. But I guess it still has to go to a lot of development before it goes mainstream. I mean, America's oldest bank, uh, Bank of New York Mellon Bank, has already uh, put in Bitcoin as part of their custody assets. Goldman Sachs is about to launch a crypto trading operation to support this. So it's starting. It's starting to become mainstream, but not right now because of it's not fully developed yet. It's not something that we should jump into. We should first study it. We should first understand how it behaves, understand what it is. Because if somebody asks you, what's a cryptocurrency, what's Bitcoin, or what's Ethereum, or any other cryptocurrency, parang, ano yan, investment asset yan. So that's not enough when you don't know that much about the investment instrument, much like for example, when you're investing in stocks, when you say you're investing in EALA, yan yung may-ari ng mga malls, they have um, mixed use development, they have commercial property, ito yung PE niya, ito yung leverage niya, ito yung total assets niya. So this is the management. Ito, you're dealing
There's
with
physical assets sila. They
physical
have
assets.
physical assets.
Here,
Yeah.
you're dealing with something that's digital. It's in the air. You cannot even take physical grasp of the concept of the asset, diba? So it's not at this point in time where you don't have an exchange, a proper exchange, you don't have custody, you don't have a registry. There's no structure for consumer protection. Your only protection is yourself, is your wallet. If your wallet gets lost, then all else gets lost. Your capital gets lost.
So it's like saying, Sir Boyet, that we don't really have that much fact yet to back up whether to trust this kind of investment.
It's not trust the investment, but for the investor to be prepared and predisposed to take in this asset class, because there are a lot of risks with the asset class. Unlike gold, where we have physical gold, there's gold ETF, there are gold certificates that are backed up by the physical assets. We don't have those um, commodities yet, those mechanisms to be able to invest in cryptocurrencies. What we have now is to invest in the cryptocurrency itself, which requires you to create your own wallet, to settle your own transaction by yourself. I mean, you're sending money, say pesos or dollars, to say a wallet or an exchange, and then for which, unlike, for example, if unlike the PSE, it's a very big institution. It's backed up by brokers. It's backed up by capital. The exchange is basically on the internet. It's an internet exchange, and they just pass on buys and sells without a. Kumbaga, parang you don't have brick and mortar. You cannot have recourse to them for your transactions.
Your transaction kasi, Sir Boyet, no? Para bang tayo lang yung nag-usap.
Mm.
So, bibili ako ng cryptocurrency sa'yo because, or papasahan kita ng cryptocurrency kasi meron akong biniling item sa'yo. Parang ganun.
Oo. And you only know the identity of the other. When you're buying, you don't know who it's coming from.
Mm.
Correct.
Because it's the identities of the players are not known, of the holders are not known. So you don't know where it's coming from, who you're buying it from. The only time that you will know who you're receiving it or who you're paying it to is if you're buying something in exchange for the cryptocurrency. So if
Actual good.
pizza and you're paying Bitcoin for it,
Mhm.
alam mo you're paying the pizza shop, the pizza restaurant. But
Or you're paying for a service.
yes. Other than that, when you're buying or selling, you don't know who it's coming from.
Okay. Hindi talaga siya para sa mga tao medyo mahina ang dibdib, ika nga.
Oo, and coupled with the volatility. Imagine yung when Bitcoin dropped, ayun nga, when the value dropped in about 2017, late
17.
2017, it did not recover until 2019.
Wow. Ang haba ng cycle niya.
And for it to have risen to that 9,000 level, parang it took 2014 to 2017. Matagal din.
Mhm.
Years. Not to mention daily volatility.
Sir, we're just talking about Bitcoin here, no? So wala, kumbaga, since although maraming cryptocurrencies, but somehow yung mas merong reputation is, as you mentioned, yung Bitcoin and
And
Ethereum, di ba?
yung those are the more popular ones.
ones.
And the more, well, you can say globally traded.
Okay. Mas accepted ng public.
a lot of people are holding these two currencies.
Let me just remind, sir, our audience na we're not endorsing these cryptocurrencies. We're just tackling them, talking about them for the benefit of educating the public. We're not endorsing these products or these assets as something to go mainstream or what. We're just trying to understand, makakatulong ba to sa pagpapalago ng wealth ni pera at mapera. That's all. That's all.
And we have to be very careful also because there are Ponzi schemes involving cryptocurrency.
Grabe, no? Ang creative talaga ng mga tao.
So, alam nila people want to get into the bandwagon eh. So a lot of people promise, oh, you put say 20,000 with me, I'll invest it in Bitcoin in 1 month or in 2 months, I'll double your money, I'll triple your money. Hindi po ganyan ang galaw.
Pyramiding talaga. Obvious pa. Actually, if it's, di ba, we always have a saying in investments, Sir Boyet, di ba? If it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Di ba? Anyways, it's so nice hearing about all of these things. So definitely, I hope everybody's happy with what they're hearing, or at least may natututunan tayo na hindi pala talaga para sa lahat ng tao ito. But of course, we have to bring it back. How does it help our members or even our clients? How do we use this in practice management? Do cryptocurrencies really have a place in pera and maperas or even any regular Filipinos investment portfolio, Sir Boyet? At saka kung meron man, ilang percent lang ba dapat? Kasi siguro may limit naman yan, no? Hindi naman sky is the langit, ika nga, or sky is the limit. Kumbaga, ang hirap kasi sa maraming Filipino, especially those who see something nice and good, kaya maraming nakakaproblema sa pera. When we find an asset na maganda ang kita, malaki ang interest, we stack all of our chips there. But since we are RFC members, most of us are RFC members who are listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, how do we use this in our practice when we're advising people like pera and mapera?
Well, rule of thumb first is that, di ba, we all know that you don't put your eggs in one basket.
Correct.
Huwag mo ibubuhos lahat. I mean, this is at this stage speculative. And the market is still developing safeguards for people investing in cryptocurrencies. Second is, when you are dealing with risk assets, all of your risk assets should only form at most 10% of your total portfolio, of your total wealth. Meaning, that 10%, i-apportion mo to all your risk assets, not just cryptocurrencies. So probably cryptocurrencies will be 1/3 or 1/4% only, because you have other risk assets that you might want to take on. Huwag mo naman lahat ibubuhos yung 10% doon. So again, diversification, if you have core holdings, you have your satellite, you have your speculative, you still apply the rules of diversification, the rules of asset allocation or investment allocation in creating those that portfolio. So hindi mo lahat ibubuhos in one investment. So you allocate just a small portion of it. Probably for risk assets, you have to allocate yung buong 10% na yon, you're willing to lose that. You're capable of losing the 10% in all your very risky investments, including cryptocurrencies, if you intend to go into it and if you understand it. Admittedly, when I started, I just threw in 1,000 pesos. And that's it. I forgot about it because sabi ko, ang tagal umakyat. Parang I got it at something like 900 and hindi gumagalaw. Tapos every day when I look the chart, sumasakit yung puso ko kasi gumagalaw on an intraday or an intra-week. So sabi ko, forget about it. And then, come the time na umakyat na siya ng 9,000. Sabi ko, oh, okay. So, put a little more. And then, I put a little more. And it dropped again. I
Mali sir yung top up mo. You
oh,
top up when it's high already.
ano to, ha? Ayan ang behavior ng ng speculative invest.
Investor.
Ganon ang nagiging behavior kasi pag nakatikim ka ng
Kita.
so mo sige double up natin. Thinking again, you're going into already behavioral finance.
Mhm.
So, na yung nangyari in the past, mangyayari in the future, di ba?
Mhm.
At you will not get hit by a black swan like
Mhm.
pandemic. When the pandemic hit, all asset classes went kaput, and then you have all the cryptocurrencies going up because of that web of trust, because it's not controlled by anybody, it's limited in supply. So again, going back to your question, all of your risk assets taken together should not be more than 10% of your total wealth. Do not risk, that 10% kikit, pwede, pag nawala, pwede mong kitain eh. Diba? That's probably the logic behind that.
Wow. So that's a lot to learn from actually. So para bang nire-remind lang talaga natin ng public, medyo ingat-ingat lang tayo, hindi porket masaya tayong lahat, kung kumita tayo lahat kikita. The money has to come from somewhere. Talagang may malulugi, di ba Sir Boyet?
Mm-hmm. Remember, this is a zero-sum game.
Mm.
So there's buying and selling. Some people will win, some people will lose. Those left holding the bag, if something happens, will lose value. But then again, if you have staying power, like from 9,000, it went down back again to 5. If people didn't have staying power, they would have sold. Where is it now? It's now at 51.
Mm.
Diba? But again, that's not a assurance that that exponential increase will happen again in the future. Remember, the higher they fall, the higher they fly,
The harder.
the harder
They
they fall.
fall.
So
Okay.
also we have to remember that again, prudence in investments.
Yeah. But of course, we would like to emphasize that we're not telling people not to invest. We're just saying that you should know the profile of the cryptocurrency. We're not here to bash the Bitcoin, but just to have a sound judgment of all your investment. So Sir Bart is saying like you should put it in your risk asset. And it's not all of the risk asset, it's just part of the risk asset. What's your take, Kuya Ryan?
Grabe. Actually, ako personally, I learned a lot of new things about cryptocurrency, and somehow, if I guess it's one of those popular cryptocurrency, baka medyo safe naman ng konti. Well, konti. I'm not saying totally safe, but it might be worth considering, especially with the guidance that Sir Boyet made na it should not be your entire speculative portfolio. Kumbaga, not more than 10%, baka 1% lang or 0.5% lang. It's something that you are kumbaga willing to lose. Kumbaga, kung kinalimutan mo na, kung kumita eventually, maging happy ka kung bumalik pa.
Mm-hmm.
So parang may lumapit sa sakali, matagal mo nang hindi nakikita, pautang naman ng 1,000. Yung ibigay mo pero wag mo na isipin na babalik pa sa iyo, parang ganun yung nangyari. So but it's very interesting. So let's see how it goes. As Sir Boyet mentioned, medyo emerging asset pa lang siya, hindi pa siya bona fide asset. So let's see where it goes. So I'm a little bit excited of what will happen in the future lang.
Ako naman, my take tonight is that wow, parang I'm overwhelmed, with the wealth of knowledge of Sir Boyet, with just some simple questions, parang sumabog lahat sa mukha ko yung mga tanong like, the more I know, the more I do not know. So, amazing, amazing. And, thank you, Sir Boyet.
Mother, if I may add lang nakakatuwa lang yung journey pala ng cryptocurrency from its humble beginnings as an online a geeks online currency, tapos naging currency ng dark web ginamit sa mga illegal na transaksyon. Tapos eventually naging a little bit of a mainstream online currency because it was used for purchasing pizza. 'Di ba? Para bang as simple as that made it a little bit more credible for use by regular Joes like us, 'di ba? Yung mga ordinaryong Juan de la Cruz. Tapos ang nakakatuwa lang medyo may security naman pala. Kaya lang sa sobrang secured niya, ang problema pag nawala mo yung pinaglagyan mo ng wallet mo, ng electronic wallet mo, at pag na-corrupt yung pinaglagyan mo or halimbawa nanakaw yung cellphone mo, ay lagot ka. Pag nakalimutan mo pa yung password mo, there's no way of retrieving it. So medyo hindi talaga siya para sa mga mahihina ang sikmura sa risk, kumbaga. Kailangan medyo matibay ang dibdib mo, yung may conviction ka kung papasukin mo siya. It's still an asset, an emerging asset based on faith na kung talagang hindi mo kaya, it's not something for everyone.
And to add to that, parang you have to know what you're going into. That's the very basic. You have to know what you're going into, what it is, and then how to protect yourself as well. Kasi if anything happens, again, if you lose your wallet, parang what do you do? Did you back it up? Did you print the QR code? Did you have it? Do you have a printout in the vault? Because that's the only way you can bring it back, di ba? If you have backup, if you have a printout that's kept in a safety deposit box or a vault, and then how much of your total risk assets do you want to put into it? Can you put into it without having sleepless nights?
Correct. Yun yung importante. Yung kaya mo pa rin matulog sa gabi, di ba, Sir Boyet?
Sa stock market, it gives you sleepless nights, lalo na to. So, again,
you will have long sleepless nights and many of them mababangag ka. I guess the best way to learn about these things is to consult a registered financial consultant, no? Kasi if it's so easy to consult anyone you know, but are they certified to help you? That is the thrust of our organization, which is why we have this Tuesday podcast. We want the public to be educated, and for those who are saying that they're practicing to be a financial advisor, I guess it would be good to be certified by an association, a legitimate association that has been doing it for years. And hindi lang dito pinapractice yung natututunan natin. It has been passed on from one country to another, coming from people who practically invented the financial planning profession. So siguro that's my 2 cents worth for tonight. I just hope na when we do plan our future, let's not do it alone, because to be healed, ayan, si Sir Boyet can relate. Hindi naman siguro siya nag-self-care ng sakit niya na hindi nag-consult ng doktor, di ba? So, kailangan pa rin may professional who looks after us. So, yun lang, Mother Grace.
Okay. Any last words, Sir Boyet, na if you want to address our RFC members and viewers before we close?
For the RFC members, let's continue learning, because our value as RFCs in guiding our clients is with the knowledge that we have on not just the traditional investments, but also the upcoming emerging asset classes, emerging investments that may help our clients down the road. It may not fit them now, but it could be an asset class that can be considered in the near future, considering the fast pace of the development in the financial markets. That's for RFCs. Let's continue learning. Let's learn about cryptocurrencies. Let's learn about, say, mga derivative instruments. Let's learn about this because this will be very helpful for our clients. For the general public, do not be swayed with promises of
Big returns.
big money, di ba?
Mhm.
For a very short period of time. Uh, other than the internet, let's look at probably resources, reliable resources that will give us a better understanding of this new wave of investments, new wave of financial instruments. It doesn't mean that if everybody is going into it, I should go into it. On the contrary, if everybody is going into it, I should be going out and running as far as I can.
Correct.
Yeah. Right.
Correct.
So, our time is up again. Thank you, Sir
Ang
Boyet, for
bilis.
that very detailed and overwhelming discussion regarding the cryptocurrencies on this episode. We hope that our viewers and members have learned and gained knowledge. And so, this is the RFC Tuesday podcast saying it is better to be in the know than to be the last to know. Good night, everyone. Thank you,
Good
Sir
night,
Boyet.
everyone. See you in the next episode.
Good night, Ryan. Thank you, Francis.
Thank you, Sir Boyet.
Thank
By the
you.
way, thank you, Francis, for being in the background.
Ang ating control booth tonight.
Yes.
Yes, okay. And of
At
course, we miss John and Andre and Louis.
We
Of
hope that
course, yes,
you
go
join
ahead.
again in the next
episode.
episode of our Tuesday podcast.
And of course, I would like to say hi to our Managing Regional Director with us tonight, Miss Arlene Baguyo.